You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
You are now tuned in to the number one podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to The WATE, the world according to Eli. I'm your host, Eli, and to the left of me is my dad, co-host, Boom Boom.
And your partner.
And my partner.
Welcome to The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture.
Yeah.
How you been?
Been good. We took a week off, had to chill for a little bit.
Yeah. Not a lot of sports action. That was a weird...
Yeah, because the All-Star game was on Sunday, and then there was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, no basketball.
No basketball, right? So we kind of just said it'd be a perfect time to get an extra week of rest in there, preparation.
Yeah.
But we are back stronger than ever.
We are back. We're in like the middle part of the year now.
Yeah, this is really the home stretch of the NBA.
Yeah, and end of 2019. We're kind of in that middle stretch.
Yeah. 2019 opens up spring training with
right.
baseball, pitchers and catchers.
It's springtime coming up in a couple weeks.
Right.
So,
So we have an interesting time.
Yeah, it's kind of going fast.
And it's going fast. And we are happy to be here with you once again.
We're back.
To talk sports.
Yep, so let's go into some NBA.
Let's get into some NBA action.
It's LeBron versus the Lakers.
This is a very interesting scenario we have going on.
Now, can you break down the timeline for me? Because
well, here's the thing. I think LeBron overplayed his hand with these young players.
Right.
I think the Lakers in general could have did a better job of keeping under wraps what they were trying to do.
Behind the scenes. Right.
The fact that this stuff leaked out to the public, you had a whole bunch of insensitive young players. These are millennials.
Yeah.
They barely can deal with online, if you criticize them.
Part of me feels like they're being a bunch of babies, and they kind of just need to man up.
Part of it is true.
But granted, then you do have certain players are kind of emotional when it comes to their emotions.
This is a business. And one thing Magic Johnson did say, and I agree with, is that you guys are paid like professionals. Players get traded all the time.
Right.
So you have to understand this. However, to me, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Okay.
And I thought they handled it poor. I thought this year LeBron should have just relaxed the whole year.
Right.
Build up these rookies, and then during the off season,
fully invest into the team.
Which
is, I understand what you were saying 2 weeks ago when you felt that he was invested in the full-year contract. But this is what I was talking about when I said he's not fully invested in the Lakers.
Right.
Not in terms of the full-year deal, he's there for good. But in terms of he has to fully invest in the rookies because say the trade doesn't go through, which it didn't.
Right.
Now you're stuck with these 4 rookies.
And you're stuck with a lot of animosity. Here's the thing. I thought no matter what, they should have just played out the year. Now, LeBron's injury, the worst of his career, had a lot to do with that. Right? They were number 4.
They were number 4, about to be number 3.
And they had just beat the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day. So there are other factors. LeBron has been complaining. He's been throwing players under the bus lately.
Right.
Very uncharacteristic. And he's not been playing defense. I'm not surprised about that. Because for the last 5 years, LeBron really hasn't played much defense. He's been coasting because he knows that the real season starts in the playoffs.
Right.
Then he'll turn up, and I'm pretty sure his defensive efficiency goes up in the playoffs.
First of all, he's 34, played in his, 17th? 16th season?
This is 16th or 17th season, yes.
There's going to be times when I don't feel like playing the full aspect.
And that's what young players with young legs are supposed to be there for.
That's what you're here for. And all-stars who are still younger than me and like my peers. Y'all supposed to handle certain things I'm not supposed to pick up on.
So now we have a very messy situation.
Right.
They lost to the Pelicans.
Luke Walton is looking sketchy.
Oh, he's getting fired. They lost to the Pelicans. Then they lost to Memphis. Put it like this. They said 3 particular games that they lost when LeBron was out. Against the Cavaliers, the Knicks, and I forget which other team. Had they just won those 3 games, they'd be in the 6th seed right now. So you do understand, even as a coach who loses a player of LeBron's caliber,
right,
you still got to win those games,
right,
and those are home games,
right. And then also too, coming out of the All-Star break, y'all had Houston. Y'all handled Houston,
right?
Not easily, but y'all handled them,
and it looked good.
And y'all had 24 games left,
right? So
Which
you figured if we beat Houston, we should definitely beat the Pelicans,
right? And
without Anthony Davis.
I was expecting them to be 25 games left, maybe 15-10. Maybe 17-8.
Yeah,
that can still get you into one of the spots, one of the 3 last spots, and y'all be good.
Now I don't know. They lost 2 straight.
So now, not only that, but now they have a future chance to get one of the top 3 picks in this year's draft.
Isn't that crazy?
Then making it to the playoffs.
So, should they tank? Interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately LeBron knew from the get-go, even if we get Anthony Davis, we were going to be in the playoffs, we were going to get bumped. And then push for next year.
But you do understand LeBron with Anthony Davis.
No, we'll put up a fight. Absolutely.
We'll put up a fight.
I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying.
But they wasn't going to win.
They wasn't going to win the whole thing.
Right.
Right? So you don't have that.
But to me, that's why he should have stayed pat. He should have just rolled the year out with no complaints no matter what was going on.
Right.
Because you knew you're not going to win this year anyway. Golden State is stacked.
Right.
OKC is better than
Houston. And Houston's good.
And Houston is good. And Denver is good.
Right. We just saw Denver last night. We'll talk about them later.
Right. And you're in the West. So you know this year wasn't going to be your year anyway.
Right.
So why complain? Why make yourself look bad?
One of the 3, I say give it a shot. One of the 3 picks could either be Zion or it could be...
Zion is going number 1 to the Knicks.
But what if the Lakers get the number 1?
The Lakers can't get the number 1 pick. That's impossible.
Wait, but it's not as how it was a couple years ago when it was clearly rigged.
It's no way they can get the number 1 pick. The highest they can get is number 3. And that's just if the balls happen to fall in their favor.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking they have.
And it's Zion or bust. If you're not going to bring Zion to LA, then you don't really want the rest of those guys because you're still dealing with young players. LeBron hates young players.
Plus, LeBron is LeBron, so they don't really need Zion. But I was just being funny. I was just trying to say.
No, I get it. But with that being said, we have to keep in mind that the Lakers are a mess.
Right.
They play the Pelicans again tonight.
Definitely.
And I don't know. This could be, you called the death of the king?
Yeah. I was saying that in the very beginning of last year's offseason because the Paul George thing was sketchy. The Popovich, I understood the Popovich move because he didn't want to deal with the Lakers, but they're rivals.
Yes, right.
So I understood that one. And then the trade deadline coming up, that's like 3 flags now.
Right.
Also, too, they clearly don't like the way he's been operating behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm talking about the NBA organization.
Yeah, with Rich Paul and Clutch Management.
This is a government politics,
Yeah,
game.
It's corporation.
So
corporate politics.
And him being the chess, the king piece in the chess move, they trying to make a checkmate. There we go.
Yeah, they're trying to put him in checkmate, and that's a very good analogy. And we're going to keep our eyes.
Yeah, so apparently my joke became a reality. So,
absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
There's more drama.
Boston got spanked by Toronto by 23 points.
Ooh, it was awful.
And they were down by 30 when I tuned in.
Yes.
You said last night that Kyrie only had 7 points?
He had 7 points. They was keeping him out of the paint and giving them a snapshot of how tough it's going to be when the playoffs start. Toronto is for real.
Right. And Toronto is definitely for real. But I also thought that, teams like Boston, Golden State, and I'll say like Houston, or teams like who don't really care about the regular season, and they just really want to wait until the postseason.
But the only team that can afford to do that is the Golden State Warriors.
Right. And
they're the only team who has proven that they could turn it up another notch.
Right.
And get results.
Right. But I also felt like that was the case for Boston, even though that they were in like
remember
the
Boston last year's playoff run didn't have Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and it didn't have Gordon Hayward either.
Right, so they were more of a cohesive, young, hungry unit.
Right, and statistically they do better without Kyrie Irving.
Right, so that presents an issue because You come to our mix, you're taking up a lot of shots.
Right.
Because you know Kyrie is not a pass-first point guard.
Right. He's going to get his numbers first and then pass it out.
Right. He's 26 years old, and you're asking him to be the leader when these other guys are 22 and 23.
Right.
And they're
sorry to cut you off, but also, too, because Kyrie is fully healthy, because Gordon Hayward is fully healthy, it's making Tatum and Brown bump heads.
As you mentioned.
Which we mentioned before. Because I could easily put Terry Rozier as point guard, Brown as a 2, Tatum as a 3, Al Horford at the center,
and Morris
at the 4. And
they will compete hard.
Heavy.
Everybody will and make Marcus Smart the first guy off the bench.
Right. Make him the best he'd be the best 6-man.
Right. Along with Baines stretching the floor.
They could
wind up in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And they could at least be number 3 seed right now.
Right.
Even with Philly on their back.
I have to agree with you. And no one is arguing over shots. Everyone is with that unit that you're speaking of. The ball just moves. It doesn't stick.
Absolutely.
And so Kyrie Irving is out of Boston.
Yeah, I can see it on his face.
Yeah, he's done.
2 things. LeBron and Kyrie miss each other like their ex. Like, you know, like how you break up with your ex and you kind of want them back.
And realize that it was a bad move.
Right. And I think ultimately he's going to go to the Knicks for, like, no matter what.
Yeah, he'd go to the Knicks, but the wild card could be he could wind up in L.A. with LeBron.
Yeah.
They could they could break the mold like when Shaq and Kobe broke up. They didn't get back together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki,
they didn't get back together.
That was a clean mess up.
Yeah. So they may be the ones to break the mold and be like, you know what? We're going to reunite.
Okay, but here's my thing. Here's my thing. Which one would be better? Him in New York or him in L.A.?
Him in New York because I'm on the East Coast. I get to see him play.
Right.
However, he hasn't proven he can lead a team.
True, but it's the same thing with Kevin Durant.
But you know what? You know what LeBron gave him? LeBron gave him the keys to do as he liked. It's just that LeBron is saying, I'm the man here, but he took more shots than anybody on Cleveland.
Right.
People forget that. So with Cleveland, he got all the shots he won.
Kyle Lowry.
That's my point.
Damian Lillard.
So LeBron was saying, do you, but when it comes down to clutch time, I want the ball in my hand so I can make the best decisions.
And even if
and LA is a great place to live.
Definitely. But so is New York. New York is the second best city behind LA.
And it's cold and it rains and it snows here.
Okay, but ultimately we all know New York is the second best city behind LA.
I don't know. Now, let's go back to the Paul George situation.
Okay.
The Lakers messed up the year before because they could have traded for Paul George, but they just assumed that he was going to come.
Right.
So imagine Paul George playing the way he's playing now with LeBron James.
Right, and then also, too, playing the year before with the rookies.
Right.
So he's siding with the rookies.
Right.
So when LeBron does throwing you under the bus, you have Paul George in your corner because he's been with them longer than you.
Absolutely. So the Lakers made a bunch of mistakes.
But here's the thing. First, back to the Kyrie situation. He's definitely gone.
He's gone.
I think, too, remember, he originally wanted to be with the Knicks when he asked for the trade.
That was one of his teams he chose.
That was probably one of the third team on his list.
Yeah. I don't know if it was any chronological
order. Right.
I just know that was one of the teams that he agreed to go
They
play.
have 2 max spots. If you can get Zion and then Irving, you have to try to go for KD.
Oh, yeah. Then you got to go for the trifecta, obviously.
Right. So, we'll see.
Yep, we'll see. And with that being said, the streak is over.
Yeah, the streak is over.
Let's back that up. 32 games.
Yeah. Could have easily been like...
Yeah, 32 games at 30 plus points.
I feel like it was in the middle, too, because it could easily go into 40 or it easily could have been only 25. I'm
glad it's over, and I think the team is glad it's over because now you can get back to the team play. You saw the way, which we'll talk about how the Rockets played against the Warriors without him. Sometimes when you're on these streaks, sometimes you're not thinking about the team.
You get too involved with yourself.
Right, you get too involved with yourself. You start hoisting up shots. Now the streak is over. It's the second longest streak in NBA history.
Right.
You've done an amazing job.
He definitely wasn't going to break Will.
No. He wasn't breaking it. Now you can just get back to playing ball. And with that being said, I think Houston will be a better team.
Also, too, now you have chances to take some nights off.
Right.
Because you're still going to be fatigued when you come back.
Right. So now, instead of playing these games hard so you can get your 30 points, on the nights you only have...
Paul handle that on certain nights.
Right. On the nights you only have 18 points, it's no big deal.
Right.
As long as you guys win the ball game.
Right.
Right? I think the addition of Kenneth Faried, Austin Rivers, and Shumpert have made up for Trevor Ariza and Mute. I think so. I think 3 players have made up for the capabilities of 2. Mm-hmm. I believe the Rockets will not push Chris Paul in the regular season.
Yeah.
And if he comes through the playoffs strong, I do know they're not afraid of you.
No, they're definitely not afraid to go to state. They're definitely not afraid to go to state. But, I mean, I need to... Because, see, here's the thing. When the playoffs start, your record goes back to 0-0. It's the same thing like in the NFL. Also, too, it's a best out of 7 series. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see each other a lot more. Another thing, too, is they're going to take away your weaknesses. And
they're going to take away yours, too.
Right.
So, because that's what a 7-game series is all about.
Because I clearly know for a fact we're going to have to take PJ Tucker over Kevin Durant. Every time those two are on each other, Kevin has a struggle. I don't care how big he is. He clearly has a struggle against Paul George.
Yeah,
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker's in his head. I think he has more problems against smaller defenders.
Right.
Because he likes to dribble.
Right.
They make him purely a shooter over the top. And with that being said, you can't stop Kevin Durant. You can only try your best to contain him somewhat.
And I do know Boogie got Capella into foul trouble. I just need to see how Boogie plays against Kenneth Faried.
Okay.
Because Kenneth Faried is their backup.
Yeah, and Kenneth Faried he doesn't have the size to really guard Boogie.
Right.
But he is a stretch. He can switch. I like his energy.
Right.
He was just sitting there on the Brooklyn bench doing nothing, which was amazing.
Chris Paul and Steph Curry is a cancel out.
Right. So
I'm giving the edge to James Harden.
All right, you're getting ahead of yourself. We're going to cover that. Let's talk about Denver.
Yeah, we saw them last night against OKC.
I'm starting to pay close attention. I thought by now Denver would fade. I thought they were a passing fad as a team. I thought they were overachieving, but now that I look at their roster, I don't know.
So do you want to make your 3rd selection team, like for the 3rd time?
For the 3rd time this week.
For the 4th time this week?
Earlier this week, I said the Rockets. And then I got an Eli's room, I said it's OKC.
Now he's on Denver.
Now I'm on Denver.
Look, I don't have a problem with you switching sides. I just don't like the fact that you can't stick to it. Like, for example, I'm a bandwagoner, right? I'm clear. I'm going to make that this. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. But if I'm going to bandwagon for a team, I'm going to know the information. I'm going to know who joined each other's team. I'm going to stick to that team.
Well, there's so many bandwagons going by so fast right now. I'm trying to find my spot because obviously the Lakers ain't going to make it.
Right.
Bums.
Nah, so, I just like me. No.
Okay, let's get back to Denver.
Okay, yeah.
Meet.
Yep, IT.
IT
looks
back.
Like IT from 2017 to
He's pulling up for that 3. He's getting to the basket. He looks like he could be an asset in the playoffs.
Joker is the best big man.
36, 10, and 9. This kid is a problem.
Like, I don't care if anybody disagrees with me. Joker is officially the best big man in this league.
And then you got to remember this too. Millsap is legitimate. He's always been solid. Forget about Millsap and Murray at the 2 guard.
Yeah, he can boogie.
What's the guy's name? The slim guy.
Yeah, I know he's talking.
Yeah, it'll come to me. He did his thing last night. He provides the cutting and slashing.
You have a number 1 slot rookie who's sitting on your bench.
And that's for next year.
Right.
Michael Porter Jr. It's like them going to be able to draft a number 1 pick. So he's going to be dynamic. I think people should start paying a little more close attention.
No, I mean they're doing,
especially if they hold on to that number 2 spot.
They're doing their job. They're 44-18. They just won a big divisional game last night.
Yes,
to keep the bridge.
Seems like they own OKC.
They definitely do.
And remember we talked about we talked about matchups and styles, which make fights.
Right.
I just think they have OKC's number.
Right, just like Houston has the Golden State's number.
Westbrook returned back to just hoisting up shots last night.
He had 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers. Killed his team.
And they shut down Paul
And I didn't
George.
like what he did to that little kid. If you see the highlights, the little kid
I did.
touched his hand while they was
But
playing.
here's the thing. He thought that was an adult.
Right, but when he turned around and saw it was a kid, then he went over and kind of chastised the parents about don't let your kid touch people. And the kid was just admiring Westbrook, so I thought Westbrook kind of overdrawn that out. That was just
okay, but we do agree that fans are out of control.
But this is a 12-year-old kid.
Wait,
Jeez.
Okay, wait. So okay. But here's my pitch to you, right? Say the crowd was a bunch of kids. Well, sorry. Say the crowd was a bunch of kids, and they were throwing stuff at you.
That's different.
Right.
This kid just wanted to touch.
No, Westbrook. I understand that. I understand. I get that.
Yeah.
When
I touched Dr. J, man. Take y'all back to 1983, 1984, and my uncle gave me some front row seats at the MSG to go see Dr. J because he knew it was my favorite player. And, I thought about it all game. I saw Dr. J sitting there, and I said, I'm going for it. And I went over.
And you almost pooped your pants.
And I was scared. He had turned around, I would have pooped my pants. And I touched him. And he didn't turn around, but I was glad he didn't. It was just a weird situation.
Trust me, I understand it. I understand. The little kids are innocent, but I'm just saying they do need to consider that into the rule that fans can't just do whatever because
Eli, this is a 12-year-old kid.
I understand that, but I'm talking about
if it's an adult, I get it. Like you should know better.
Like a Philly,
he did dap him up at the end, but I just thought, and Westbrook can be intimidating.
Yeah, that's why it's the same. Like, did you see what Chris Paul did to that fan who had just had the ball? Because they missed the rebound, right? The ball goes out of bounds, and the ball lands in the fan's hands. He automatically gets offended and just rips it out of the fan's hand.
Now that's extreme.
Like Chris Paul. But we know Chris Paul's attitude. He has a little...
Right, chip on his shoulder.
Right. It's like so...
All right, in some lighter news, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is donating 4 of his championship rings and a whole bunch of his championship memorabilia to help needy children. And at first, I thought he was going broke.
I was like, what?
I was like, wow, I hope he's not having some financial... He said to have these rings is one thing, but to know that it's going to be helping change young people's lives, it was a no-brainer for him.
That's big.
And that's big for him because he's about service to others, as always.
Yeah.
So the greatest player...
He's an iconic figure in the world, not even in sports.
Right, in the world. So for him to do that, I think that's admirable.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's great.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank you for pronouncing his name because I couldn't even.
What?
Kareem.
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar.
Jabbar. What do we have?
Oh no, I got you next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Keep
so, tell us about the records. LeBron is now.
Oh yeah. My bad. Okay, so LeBron is now top 10 in assists and top 10 in points for the first time.
The only player in the history of the NBA to be top 10 all-time points and assists. So, for all the haters out there, and there are plenty, he's still doing something that nobody has ever done.
Well, sure. If you don't have haters, then you're not that great.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So, overall, a big ups to LeBron for such an accomplishment.
Right.
He's in LA for 4 years now.
It's funny how every time he gets an award now, they always lose that game.
Yeah.
He's had he's had 4
records or milestones.
Every time he gets those, they lose.
Wow, interesting. I never
even in Cleveland. But anyway.
Alright, so we bigged up LeBron for that.
Yeah.
Zion,
we was watching last Wednesday's.
that was last Friday's game.
No, we were hyped. Time out.
That was last Wednesday.
It wasn't. Let me report the story now.
Yeah, report the story. Facts.
It was on Wednesday. It was Duke versus North Carolina. They had the highest tickets in, I believe, NCAA
history.
Yes. Those tickets was like Super Bowl tickets.
Yes, and then some.
And we were sitting here right in the middle of the living room, hype. As soon as he touched the ball, 30 seconds in, slipped out of his shoe and hurt his knee.
And bust up in his knee. Now, do you think he should play again, or do you think he should not play?
This is becoming like a big debate. I feel like he shouldn't. As his parent, as his agent, you're done. That's
okay, because you have bigger dreams.
We have we're looking at the bigger picture. Even though we understand it's about the money, it's about where you're gonna land. It's about you being the number one kid in the world, in the country.
Right.
You're like, dude, you're clearly going number one. We've seen 15 games of this. You have the speed, you have the jumper, you have the block, the defense, and offense, all around player. You're done.
Okay, so and then there's some people saying, well, he went to Duke to play with Mike Krzyzewski.
The counter to that is the Duke Mike Krzyzewski point because he does have limitations to his game that Mike can help him out with.
Sure. But how much better is he going to be between now and training camp?
Absolutely nothing.
So
it's not going to be that drastic.
And he's moving the stock market. Nike lost $1 billion because of this snafu with this Paul George shoe.
Wow.
So they lost $1 billion.
I think that'd be kind of cool just to
He's such a commodity.
Make that into commercial. Like, oh my God, my new sneakers. You can slide out.
Yeah, and
you can slide out the shoe. We can make it into ski shoes. You know.
I'm pretty sure somebody is doing some memes online of that same issue.
Dude, what?
I saw somebody do the twister.
Oh.
Right foot blue, left foot blue. They put it under him. So, but as his parent, he got decisions to make.
I can't have you go out there, even in the tournament.
Because let's say he blew his knee out on that play.
It would have been a wrap. Now, granted, I'm still going number one with you because
No, well, I don't know.
You did the same thing with Kyrie Irving.
But Kyrie Irving, if he blew his knee out, that means he would have to wait the whole next season. Kyrie Irving was ready when the season started.
But didn't he have an ACL tear?
No, he had some kind of tear, a foot injury or something.
Same thing?
When the season started, he was in a Cleveland uniform.
Okay. But
if this guy busts his knee out, that means his ACL, he got to go the whole training.
Okay.
I'm not taking him.
So what about Michael Porter? He had hurt his back.
He had a back injury. Different. And Denver is willing to take a chance to say, don't rush back. Let your back get better, and then we'll see what you can provide for us next year.
I don't want to hear... First of all, we're in a different day and time. I'm tired of these old legends saying, "Oh my God, we're back in my day."
Yeah, because we're not back in your day.
We're not back in your day anymore. We're first of all, LeBron, D-Wade. I'm gonna give the credit to the Four Horsemen because they really started.
They really changed a lot.
They started the fact that it should be player first, and then.
Yeah.
Even that might sound a little selfish, but it's a great.
It's the
blueprint.
sign of the change of the times.
It's a great blueprint.
Sign of the times.
Now I can decide what team I want to go to in terms of free agency trade. I can also decide if I want to play for college,
right, or not.
I'm the number one. And my two other teammates are in the same position. The only difference is that they're not hurt.
Absolutely, I gotta agree. So we'll keep an eye on that.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
As we spoke about earlier, the Rockets and Warriors. This could wind up being a very good matchup if we get to see it again in the playoffs because, like I said, the addition of the Rockets, the 3 players making up for the 2 players, I think them resting Chris Paul, right, until the playoffs kicks in, I think it's going to give them just a shooter's chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because they're not afraid of the Warriors, I think it's important.
I think, first of all, home court advantage that time is going to matter.
Yes.
We're going to destroy y'all and go and say you're not winning the game.
I believe so, but they have 4 chances to win one game in Golden State. You know what I mean?
Right, because they're going to have to win the road game in order to win the series.
I think they got to win 2. I think
Yeah,
Golden State's going to at least win 1 on your building. So you have to win 2.
And that's already 3 right there.
And that's tough. So we'll keep our eye on that series.
But here's the thing. I'm worried about the fatigue. When it comes to James Harden, it's about fatigue. Right?
Yeah, but did you see how Chris Paul was running that team?
Yeah, I'm about to switch over to that too. For James Harden, it's about the fatigue. We know he's a great player and everything. It's about fatigue. Because it's the same thing that happened last year. He was putting up great numbers, but when he got to the playoffs and the defense got intensified, that fatigue started to kick in. You ended up...
But we know if Chris Paul was there...
Absolutely. And then you went 1 for 37 as a team. Because even though he was out, you still had a Game 7 in your building.
And that would have been a defining moment for James James Harden.
Right. You was up by 12.
Yes.
And I was panicking sitting right there on that couch.
It would have been a very defining moment.
Right.
For him to finally step up.
Now, on the flip
side, do what needs to get done.
It's Chris Paul with the injuries.
Right.
He needs because he hasn't been healthy in a full season since
I don't know
maybe 2015.
Yes.
And even that series, he had hurt his Achilles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And messed him up in the second round. I forgot who they were facing.
Yes.
But that is going to be his critical moment. Also, too. Oh, right. So they were playing Golden State. What was it, last Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
And they look way better without James Harden.
They did.
If you remove James Harden from the beginning of the season, they'd be number 3 right now. Close to number 2.
I'm not sure about all that.
No.
But
drastically,
considering Chris Paul is never healthy.
Yeah, true.
If you got a healthy Chris Paul, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Healthy Chris Paul, they'd be number 2, number 3 right now.
Yeah, but
because he moves the ball ways that James can,
and he handles pace.
Right.
He knows when to speed the team up.
Right.
When to slow the team down.
And he doesn't hold the ball unless he feels like, okay, I have a great... Like, Draymond Green, he has a great matchup over every time. Therefore, he's going to pull a deep one, and his three-pointer has very much improved.
It has. We talked about LeBron going to L.A. and being involved in everything but basketball.
No, okay, wait, time out. Sorry, finish this.
Meaning, the critics.
No, I understand.
Was saying,
I understand that.
He's out here... Is he out here for movies?
I was just going to say, how did you feel about that? Cause there is
I'm starting to think that because now he's A&R, which means artist and repertoire for 2 Chainz's new album.
Right. They also said a couple of nights before. This is back in...
a game he missed. He was out mixing this guy's album or something.
Right. And the game that he missed, it was Golden State.
Right.
Because they had just lost to the Pelicans, and he had said... Young players, these young guys need to stop getting off of their phones.
Right.
And investing into.
Meanwhile, he's
the night before they had played Golden State for the second time after, I think it was right after the Christmas game.
Mm-hmm.
And he had came back from his groin injury 2 games before that.
Right.
He had a chance to go into Golden State and play them, and then they said load management.
Meanwhile, he was working on 2 Chainz's album.
Right. And so it's kind of looking a little bit hypocritical. I understand that you are a mega superstar, so you can do multiple things, but don't try to slap me on the hand.
And you doing the same thing.
It's the same thing like with a little kid, like with a little kid going against a parent. You can't tell,
do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Right.
So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Speaking of doing more in Hollywood.
Yep. He's gonna start in
Space Jam 2.
He's also the executive producer of it. It's coming out July 16th, I believe, 2021. So they'll be filming from this year.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. I thought, he's got to deliver a championship to LA, at least one. He has to.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then it leans more to you were coming out here to set up the next stage of your life, which is your business ventures.
Right, but also you can throw some flame on NBA.
Oh yeah, the NBA, the way they're treating him now.
For
spiting him and doing things to try to shut down clutch management, sports management, and other things.
Right. I think I'm going to make it funny, and this might happen. I'm not even lying about it. Space Jam 3 might be about Zion. Might start in Zion.
Perhaps.
I'm telling you right now.
Perhaps. And Steph Curry broke a record recently.
Steph Curry is the only player in NBA history to have 5 games with 10 or more threes.
In a season?
In a season.
Wow. It's a lot of threes.
There will be no other shooter like him.
I'm going to keep my eye on Trae Young before I say that.
No, I'm saying that now.
Trae Young may be Steph 2.0.
There won't be another shooter like him.
Trae Young is... Remember this. Let me tell you this about Trae Young. Remember, for the first 5 years, Steph wasn't doing this.
Valid point.
Trae Young is hitting the ground doing this.
But also, too... So,
what season is this for Steph?
This is season... He got drafted in 2009, so this is like season 9.
10. Going into
10,
right?
Going into 10.
So, imagine Trae Young hits the ground and he's doing this for 10 years. If he can stay healthy.
But you also need the team around you to do that.
Yeah, but simply saying... To shoot from where he shoot from.
Because also, too, it's not like the main reason Steph is also doing this is because he has a great number 2 shooter, a great playmaker,
spacing, I agree,
and then a 7-footer who can boogie.
Listen, I'm with all of that, but the fact that he's coming in shooting like this gives him an opportunity.
He balled out. He balled out in both.
So we're gonna keep an eye on that.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
Let's get into some NFL news, Eli. Sorry to say, but the New England Patriots owner has been caught with his pants down, literally, in a scam involving solicitation. What do you think about this?
Kind of conflicted a little bit, but
okay, let's hear your conflictions.
But because on one hand, look, he's what? He's 74, 76?
No excuse, but
I get it. I'm just saying. He's 74. He did lose his wife in 2012 to cancer.
Right, so maybe this is a part of a bereavement.
At first, I thought, you know what? He's having a little fun. Maybe a little bit too much fun. But you did win. You did just win the 6th championship.
No, the first time was before the AFC Championship game.
Wait, they call him multiple times?
Yeah, the first time was before the AFC
Okay, time out. So, so you're telling me there's multiple...
This was a regular spot for him, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Anyway, what do you think the NFL should do is what I'm asking.
They're going to suspend him. They could fine him about $500,000.
So we had Spygate with Belichick.
Right.
Deflategate with Tom Brady, and now Tailgate.
But here's the thing.
Tailgate.
It's not going to affect anything because I'm an owner. It's not like I'm a player. It's not like this was like...
No, but it's
an image, legacy thing.
Image takes it.
But ever since 2007, ever since I joined this team, there's always been...
Some scandals.
All
right, so
But granted, look, off the field, he's done great things.
Mm-hmm.
When he's single, he's having a little bit too much fun.
Yeah, he needs to pipe that down.
And he just got caught, because if he didn't get caught, we probably wouldn't be talking.
Le'Veon Bell is an unrestricted free agent. Where do you see him playing?
The Chiefs. I'm going to stick to
You're going to stick to the Chiefs?
I'm going to stick to it, because they need a running back. They just lost Hunt.
They need a running back with an explosive quarterback like Mahomes.
Right. A great, faster, valid wide receiver in Hills, because Hills is faster than
Antonio
Brown. Let's be real. It would be a great, and then you could possibly play.
Does Kansas City spend money like that though? That's the issue.
They better. I guarantee you, if they didn't lose Hunt, they would have kept that trio together for years.
Okay, all right, we're gonna look into that. Antonio Brown, I've just heard from the owner today that they're not going to rule out trading him to the Patriots. They would much rather trade him to the NFC, but they're looking for the best offer for their team.
Bring him over here.
So that means if the Patriots, with all of those draft picks,
bring him over, he will officially be the second best wide receiver behind Randy Moss.
Yes,
100%. And I'm putting him over Cooks because Cooks didn't really pan out as well as I thought he would.
He took that hit in the Super Bowl, which
was knocked out cold.
Was knocked out cold.
So bet y'all can bring him over here. Look, we already have a bunch of scandals, but yet we're gonna bring you a championship.
Sure. Nick Foles
Yeah.
I thought Denver, like you said, should have took him.
No question. That had the best defense and a decent offense where he could at least win you 11
One Super Bowl.
Right.
Or at least, meaning if you get a playoff game.
Like a good 12 games. That'd be 12.
And you know he's playoff tested.
Right. Playoff tested. And it's like he's a rookie all over again because it seems like nobody can really figure him out, 100% yet.
Yeah.
And he's not like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Where
Right.
No.
Right.
So,
he's a much better quarterback.
As a second team, I'm looking through it in my head. You could bring him to.
They said Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's what I was going to say. They have a great defense too.
Right.
They need a quarterback because Blake Bortles is not it.
Yes.
I'm looking at Tampa Bay. They don't have a quarterback either.
Well, Winston.
No, Winston, you gotta get rid of him because he can't stay.
His off the field.
His off the field, yeah. He has to go.
All right.
And then I'll say, thinking of the third team. I was gonna say the Bears, but they're already good.
Nah, the Bears are good.
With Mike Trubisky out?
Yeah. Wasn't his fault. He played well enough to win that game.
Or Detroit?
Stafford?
Yeah.
Stafford is your quarterback, bro.
Alright, what would be the third team? Because we had Jacksonville and I had Tampa Bay.
Maybe,
Clearly it would be Denver, but they messed that up.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
Right,
So, Randy Gregory of the Cowboys has violated the substance abuse program again, and he's suspended indefinitely.
It's probably weed, right?
I don't know what it is. It's probably weed.
Probably
now,
weed.
what are they going to do when weed becomes legal?
That's okay. Here's the thing: as bad as this suspension is for him, in terms of you wasn't supposed to do anyway, there are half as many players in the NFL saying that we should legalize weed.
Especially for the medicinal purposes, pain,
Right.
psychological stuff they go through.
And
But in the meantime, in the between time, you got to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm just saying, eventually, when are we gonna change? Because same thing like with gambling.
yeah,
They're gonna make gambling legal soon. Or
sooner or later.
you know.
Facts. And we thought there was going to be a new rule in place with the controversial call.
Right, in the NFC Championship game.
Took place in the NFC Championship game, but the NFL ruled against that. They said, we want to keep a human element to the game. These controversial calls don't happen that often, but they always seem to worth more in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like what happened to the Cowboys, that was terrible.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, to the Dead right.
And now they moved it back to a catch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. That was a very bad, blatant call.
Here's the thing: they're gonna say this now, but in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, they'll give it.
Yeah, soon because all the games will be automated.
But they're gonna start off by first, because number one, you can fit a drone in the stadium.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just have it hovering.
Well, they already have them wire drones.
Get an expert, have that whole thing hovering the whole time,
where you can see every angle of every play.
And then you just have.
I don't want the game to be so technical.
I understand that
automated machines are calling everything.
I understand that, but when I'm 30 and you guys are like in your 60s and 70s, and y'all sitting at home, and I'm watching the game too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
and you'll be explaining to your children there used to be a time when.
And then you're gonna be explaining a whole different.
Absolutely.
We're gonna go into Mr. Robot.
Yes.
The Will Smith movie when he had
iRobot. Yeah.
iRobot.
Artificial intelligence. So Johnny Manziel has been released again by the Montreal team he played for in the CFL. He did something detrimental to the team or league policy, and they're not releasing any other information, but his small attempt to maybe make his way back to the NFL is done.
Yeah, well, he has one more shot.
He has no more shots as far as
the AFL.
I wouldn't want him if he can't survive the CFL.
Trent Richardson is in that.
Yeah, but Trent Richardson is not going through what he's going through.
True.
You know, Trent Richardson just kind of got fat.
Yeah.
And out of shape and just kind of need to work his way back.
No, he couldn't play. That was Eddie Lacy.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, right.
Eddie Lacy got fat. But, Johnny, go back to your mansion because you're still rich.
And that's part of the problem. He wasn't hungry enough.
Right. It was a
This
hobby.
game didn't mean it was a hobby for him.
Dude, it was a hobby.
And it was
You realize-
clearly
Right.
It was clearly that this was a hobby.
Also, too, because it was college football, it's a bunch of amateurs.
Right.
So I can school all y'all.
Right. I'm better than y'all on the amateur level, but the pro level requires a skill set.
Right.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE. The world according to Eli.
We're going to talk baseball just for about 5 seconds.
Yep.
Manny Machado signs a 10-year, $300 million deal to play with the Padres.
This actually irritates me.
Why?
Because I don't understand, if you're a free agent, you don't go to championship teams. I still, to this day, don't understand. Football is a little bit complicated because you don't get...
Well,
it's like half of your money guaranteed, and then you got to earn the extra. if
check
you
this
do
out, Eli.
Bonus stuff.
Do you know how much money $300 million
I understand that, but you could have got that with like the San Francisco Giants.
No, he wasn't offering that. The Padres
Why
was offering $300 million. It's sunny out there.
But since when did... I understand money is, in this day and time...
You don't know his upbringing.
I understand
He
that.
might have been a poor kid
I
from
understand
Puerto
that.
Rico or something.
But you've been in the league for a long time. You earned your
This
spot.
is probably his biggest contract he's going to get.
Yeah, but I just don't like...
Winning is not everything. I know you think it is. It's
But
not.
it is. You bust your butt to play professional sports
Yeah.
and get to the spot
And to
he's
make
earned
money.
it. I'm not saying...
And to make money.
But why can't you make both and get a championship at the same time?
Because $300 million is the biggest deal ever. And why should I walk away from
Yeah,
it?
it is the biggest deal behind...
Alex Rodriguez had two $250 million deals. Not one, two.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? So, it's a couple of ways to look at it.
My mindset is just different when it comes to that. It's just like...
Okay, until they hit you with $300 million, you're allowed to play with the Buffalo Bozos or play with this team that for $75 million, go play with this team, or $300 million with the Buffalo
Look,
Bozos.
you could have easily re-signed with the Dodgers,
Check
went
this
back
out.
to West...
They wasn't offering that. I'm taking the $300 million to play with the Buffalo Bozos. My family is straight. We're gonna be here for 10 years. My wife is happy. She can go shopping, and my kids gonna grow up in a great neighborhood. And if we win some games, we do. And if we don't, we don't. My check will be there. Yeah.
So
back
hold
that
on,
up.
wait a minute.
Back that
Okay, because my mindset has always been, I want to be immortalized with championships and money,
up. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What was your mindset as a kid watching,
Watching sports, because remember, as a kid, we didn't know nothing about the business aspect of it. So it was just to get the championship. Now, if you have a choice to have your cake and eat it too, of course.
Right.
But when that time comes in your career, and here's the thing, you don't know what you're going to say until they go, yo, here's $300 million. And then you be like,
Okay.
because now you're making a decision for your family.
True.
You
I understand
straight
that. I
for the
understand.
next generational wealth. $300 million can be generational wealth. Like
Right.
your kids can grow into that.
Right.
And he may even elevate the Padres into a decent team.
Yeah, and true. The other thing about sports, which I always do forget, there are certain teams that start from
And
the
baseball
bottom.
ain't no budget.
Right.
They might put somebody else around and they get 2 pitchers,
Right.
and you never know.
And in baseball, it's the same thing like in football. Any low team can...
Worst to first.
Because like the Diamondbacks are coming.
They're coming. And last but not least, Bryce Harper's still out there.
Yeah, he has his second meeting with the San Francisco Giants.
Okay, so
they're
they haven't been in
championship.
the playoffs in a minute.
Yeah, it's been
Few years.
2014,
Yep.
2014, right?
And
Or 2015?
usually they put some good pitchers out there.
Yeah.
But he's talking a shorter deal, because he's also worth $300 million.
No, no question, no question.
So,
and that money that the Nationals gave him was probably gonna like. 'Cause remember, they gave him about 300, maybe 400.
Yeah, something. No, he didn't get that. He was on that first contract.
No, I'm talking about the new one that they offered him.
Oh yeah. He didn't want to play there, so you know.
So do you think the Yankees have a shot?
The Yankees don't want him. The Yankees, to me, with John Carlos
Yeah.
and the judge
and
Sanchez,
and we got a rookie right now.
Hicks, and those guys, I think they're fine.
Yeah.
They had to shore up their pitching. I think they did.
They did.
So, Eli, where can we be reached?
Real quick, hold on. What team do you think he's going to?
I think he's going to go to San Francisco.
Okay, I think, what was another team? Maybe the Phillies or the Cubs.
He was speaking with the Dodgers as well on a shorter-term deal.
I think he also could go to the Cubs. But, we'll see.
Yeah.
We can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Soundcloud, iTunes, YouTube. Follow me on Snapchat, all these social media platforms at the WATE Podcast. I'll see you guys next week.
Next week, peace. Tune in for more music, sports, video games, and culture. We are out of here.
You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast in the world.
You're listening
The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.